Welcome everyone to the Dog Chug. My name is Jessica, and with me as always is Roger and Ross. How are you doing, guys?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Um,
What's going on with you?
I'm going to talk about my son again. Our son, we accepted a position. We went to a workout, went to a tryout, and before it was even over, he was offered. Went up to his agent slash mom, and the guy that runs the program offered him a position on with the ball club, and it's just exciting, man. It's a baseball academy, and they have a high turnover rate of kids that go on to play college baseball. So it's right where he needs to be. So it's awesome.
That is awesome.
We're excited about that. We don't have to go to any more tryouts, and he can just enjoy fall ball in that front. Fun with his buddies this fall before it starts next year in the spring. Fun.
That's awesome.
Well, my 4-year-old just started hitting the plastic ball off the tee in the backyard, so we're gonna get there someday.
Man, I'm telling you, Russ, that's where you start, man. I got Jax playing. He's back behind the dish this year at 8, and Henry is killing the ball off the tee at 3, man. Get him out there. Just teach him to love the game of baseball. That's what I do. I don't coach him. I don't drill him. We play catch. We throw the ball, and I just teach them the love of the game of baseball, man, and that's it. And if you share that with them, chances are they'll love baseball too.
That's awesome. My son is finally saying that football is his favorite sport. It only took almost 7 years, but he's finally decided football is his favorite sport. And I will say it's because we've been going to arena football this year. It's been awesome. The team does not win ever. I think they won one game. Their last game is Saturday, but the games are super fun. Like, they're very high energy. My son can just go and hang out, eat the food from the vendors, get a pretzel or something, and he's all excited about that. But he's really been enjoying going to the games, and it's fun because we can go as a family and just go and hang out. And it's like reasonably priced because I live in Tulsa. I don't live in Cleveland, so I like going to an NFL game where it's like $1 million a ticket. So it's been really fun this year.
That's awesome.
A lot.
I love their field. I've watched it online. I tried to find you guys in the crowd, and I can't. But I love the field.
Yeah.
Black it's a sweet. I love it, man. High intensity game. Man, it's a fun game to watch.
Yep. The hardest part for me is their colors are black and gold. It was the hardest part for me to get by. I mean, obviously I'm wearing the tie-dye's not quite as black, I guess, but it's gold. It's got the Tulsa skyline on it. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, and we get to meet the players. Like, after every game, you go down and get autographs, which, who cares if they're worth anything? It's really cool to go down and meet them, though. They're really appreciative that everyone's there. It's been a lot of fun. This is, like XFL and all those other leagues. The guys that weren't able to get in NFL, it gives them the opportunity. So it's really fun to see these guys play. It's a lot of good.
Well, welcome to the oil chug.
That's right.
Right. Hey, I can relate. Our Cuyahoga Falls Black Tigers are black and gold, but high school, the football teams transitioned to a white with Bengal stripe helmet. So I don't know what's worse, the Pittsburgh black and gold they wore, or now the white Bengal helmets that they wear. At least baseball wears all white with gold lettering, a little bit of black trim. I could take that. So.
That's good. Well, guys, I guess it's time to move into that dog chug update, and everyone's ready to see what's going on around, Cleveland and everything. So we'll go on with that.
All right.
So, as most of you may know, Taco Bell finally brought back their lava sauce and volcano tacos. Taco Bells across the country, though, are running out and leaving lava enthusiasts out in the cold. I was able to discover the reason for the shortages from one of my sources, who indicated this is a direct reflection of Tito Francona's unwillingness to remove Ahmed Rosario from the number 2 spot in the lineup.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. The 93rd Major League Baseball. I'm sorry.
Oh, nothing. I'm a volcano sauce or lava sauce enthusiast.
I agree.
I'm hungry now. I love the Dorito tacos. The 93rd Major League Baseball All-Star Game was played in Seattle's T-Mobile Park yesterday, and even with all the festivities Monday and Tuesday, Dog Chug has learned the FBI Missing Persons Unit was hard at work behind the scenes in Seattle, with rumors surrounding one of the biggest unsolved cases in the history of crime. Speaking on a condition of anonymity, a source close to the situation told Dog Chug 89 hits, 19 doubles, 11 home runs, 33 runs, 64 RBIs, hitting 306, and yet the victim is nowhere to be found. It was a great injustice. Some people high up want answers, and we'll find out exactly why Josh Naylor was not an All-Star.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Took a while to get there.
The Cavs wrapped up free agency signing Max Strus to a 4-year deal, George Niang to a 3-year deal, and re-signing Karis LeVert 2 additional years. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cincinnati are still trying to get an NBA team in their poverty cities.
When I read that, I almost crashed. Today.
In other news, Dog Chug released their OnlyFans link to a small group of Twitter followers. Unfortunately, the subscriptions rapidly declined after the paid subscribers realized that Sherry is not posting her foot pics there either.
Oh. Dog Chug after dark. In superfan news, Kansas City Chiefs superfan Xavier Babadar, a.k.a. Chiefsaholic, was back in custody after being a fugitive from justice 4 months when he cut off his ankle bracelet and going on the lam. He was on bond awaiting trial for bank robbery. The FBI has started retracing his movements over the past year, and they're lining up with unsolved bank robberies across the entire Midwest. Dog Chug had his people visit Babadar in county lockup to get his side of the story. He had this to say. He said, ever since Sorensen laid that helmet-to-helmet hit on a Browns wide receiver in the playoffs that was blatantly targeting and caused for ejection, and he didn't even draw a flag, then the NFL used clips of the hit in playoff promos. I felt above the law. And I figured Chiefs Nation can do whatever we want, whenever we want, and there are absolutely no rules for us. As Chiefaholic was led away in shackles, he could be heard shouting, I'm not the problem. I'm a victim. The NFL is the real problem here. Dog Chug's going to continue to follow the story as it develops.
That's ridiculous. I mean, not surprising, though.
Hey, man, hey, I give him credit. That's a hell of a way to, you probably had a blast for a while there.
That's right. I guess we'll move on to my top 10 list. I knocked Roger out of the way to put our top 10 list together this week. It's
I should have did the intro.
Pardon me?
I screwed up. I should have did the intro for you. You had to do your own intro into your own top
It's all
10.
right. It's all right. I'm following the agenda.
It's the Jessica Dog Chug takeover.
But she whipped us into shape this week, didn't she, Ross? I was like, hey, I was going to work on that tomorrow. She's like, no, I'm going to need that from you tonight.
Oh, Sherry said,
No,
my
you're
feet are
in addition.
amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, OnlyFans.
All right, Jessica. I'm sorry.
So the top 10 this week is top 10 things all good Browns fans need to do to be ready for our season and home opener on September 10th. Number 10, send a group text message to your friends and family so they know not to expect you to attend any events that are scheduled during any Browns game. So basically nothing on any Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern.
That's a given.
Number 9, make sure they have plenty of cough drops and throat lozenges, either in their stadium bag or on the coffee table for loud cheering or cursing during games.
Here works too.
Number 8, they need to re-up their subscribe and save on their B6 vitamins and St. John's wort supplements to help balance out mood swings as well as feelings of stress and anxiety. Number 7, stock up on body paint. Number 6, dust off that one Browns theme thing that they have that's only brought out during football season. Could be anything. Number 5, prepare your Sunday meal menus based on home and away games. Keep in mind if you're tailgating or possibly even food based on the teams that we're playing. Who am I kidding? We're just going to order pizza or wings anyway.
There you go, right there.
About 80% of the time.
Taco Bell.
Right. Number 4, brush up on their fighting techniques so they can come out on top in their first Muni-Lot brawl this season.
Yes.
It's one way to go viral.
That's right. Number 3, decide which player has to prove they deserve to be there so you're ready to tweet out your hot takes.
I'm on
Get
it
those
already.
drafts ready.
That's right. Number 2, complete your online poetry class, as well as bookmark both Rhyming Words and Thesaurus websites. I already took mine. There once was a Cleveland Browns fan who wanted to buy a new van. So now when he tailgates, there's room for his chugmates. It was all part of his master plan. See? The online poetry is where it's at. And the number one reason is to buy the dog chugmobile.
There, right there, you have it. Nice.
That's it, right there. Right there.
Well done.
That's
I'm
one of our
glad I
best
didn't have to do one this week.
updates and top 10s in a while.
I'm going to start renting that out. Man, that was nice. Just sit
Can
back
you
and
fire
enjoy
the
one.
dog chug creator Andy, or does he have too much ownership in the brand? I don't know the logistics of letting him go.
Well, they already tried to kick Roger out and bring me in there, so I think it just depends on who's not here.
That's basically how it works.
And obviously, we can't fire someone for drinking on the job. So,
Right, right.
I get here Tuesday night just to make sure that I'm on.
so Roger, you said we got some meetup coming up where we're gonna do something related to dog chug or dog chugging.
Oh, well, yeah, man. We've been getting a lot of challenges lately of people want to chug against us, want to chug against Andy, Dr. Matt, Dr. Browns fan girl Sherry's better half, challenged to a chug.
Yeah,
Better
we did it anyway.
You mean basement dweller? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Matt, the basement dweller? Yeah.
He's been practicing. Then you got APJ throwing down the gauntlet.
Oh, he'll
You know,
smoke
all of
APJ.
us here, I've been challenged before you've been challenged. When dog chokes really in a bind, when somebody really steps up and throws down a challenge, we can only send our best. And we got video of dog choke's best chugger that's going to answer the bell to Dr. Matt and APJ and all comers. Let's catch this video. I was on vacation. This is our top chugging champion at dog
trip.
chug.
Heather has
There
challenged
she
me
is.
to drink 3 beers in 1 minute. Heather, have you ever chugged beer
Never
before?
in my whole life.
All right. Well, these are, smaller beers. So I guess let's see how you do.
Go.
Go.
Wow, look at Heather go.
Just got about half one down. Oh, she got the whole thing down. 10 seconds. She has 50 seconds remaining. It's exciting. Clearly done this before.
What do
Andy,
you
I'm
think for breakfast? A Bloody
She's
Mary
ready for
tomorrow?
Number 2. Still has
Oh, boy.
30 seconds remaining and only 1 beer and a sip to go.
Oh, she's got this.
Oh, this is horrible.
I don't know if Dr. Matt's ready for this.
20 seconds. Got this. Just a little sip. And she did it! I will be
Look at
banged the
that.
next trip.
That's
It's
dog
awesome.
chug's
I don't know if anyone
champion
can keep up
chugger
with
right
that.
there is Heather's my favorite.
All I'm going to say is you don't know alcoholism until you write a dissertation in biomed.
The guy with her did a couple chugs. Like, do you see the brain freeze?
That was amazing.
hilarious. That was hilarious.
That was so good.
The brain freeze. That had to be awful. We should have copied that video because that was hard to watch after.
No,
a few
because we
minutes,
can
man.
see.
I
we
felt
can see
bad
his
for
nips.
him.
No,
You got to
no,
put your tongue on the roof of your mouth and the brain freeze goes away. Just like that.
don't talk about his tongue when I'm talking about his nips, please. Please, Roger.
So how do you think Dr. Matt feels after seeing that one?
He ain't scared. He has a secret weapon.
Do you play Rocky music in the background?
Yes,
while he's
we're making a
training?
montage.
montage.
Shut up, Ross.
Crap, she's already doing it.
You
That's
don't
awesome.
understand alcoholism and biomedical research science is what drives it.
Oh, it's all science.
And autism.
Oh, yeah. That'll help you concentrate a little bit.
Yep.
We got what do we got? We got a game. We got a game coming up, right? We're gonna bring another one of our family members in, right? Is that
That's
we're
right.
gonna do that? We're gonna do that before the yeah.
Hey guys.
There she is.
What's up?
Sandra's back.
My girl's in the building. My other girl.
Oh, you have
Jessica, you're the host, and this is who you bring in, really?
Well,
The
you know,
best you can do?
This is the A team.
Yeah. it's
This is the
good.
A-team.
It's a good group of ladies, and you
What's
guys
up?
are here too.
What's up?
Your
Rob?
vacation just ended, right?
Yes, I was
What?
off for like almost 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. So I just took time to spend time with my girls and get some stuff done around the house. And man, this week coming back to work on Monday after like 10 days off. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's hard. I'm calling in
Sounds
sick and
terrible.
going Tuesday.
Oh man,
Yeah.
we got a we got a mystery call-in.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
there he
Oh my
is.
goodness.
What's up, everybody?
Andy.
Wait, Andy, are you kidnapped?
Wait,
We need to know if you're kidnapped or not.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. Oh my
What's
goodness.
up, everybody?
Andy.
Wait, Andy, are you kidnapped? We need to know if you're kidnapped or not. Oh my goodness.
Wow, this might not be working.
No, I think you're playing a YouTube video behind your stream.
Yeah.
You're kidnapped or
You're
not.
watching the stream and you join the stream.
The internet's not the best here.
Hey, what kind of porn is that?
Are you playing YouTube in the background?
Hey,
Andy?
nobody scored all night, Andy. What'd you have to bring that up for?
Here, I'm just gonna,
And you join
I'm
the
gonna chug this and then I'm gonna sign off.
Oh boy. What kind of porn is that?
Are you playing YouTube in the background?
Hey,
Andy?
nobody's. You have to bring that up. Oh, the bots are gonna get us now.
I'm gonna chug this. The internet
Man,
That was smooth.
I just noticed the awesome Hammer shirt he was wearing.
Well, there goes that. There goes tonight.
Yeah.
Is it safe to come back or do I have to hear myself again?
For like the third time.
I had to like, that was so upsetting. I almost like left completely. Like, I need a trigger warning for next time.
He was wearing a shirt though, so you should appreciate that, Jerry.
Yeah, MC Lawrence.
MC,
he's on vacation,
Mars,
so we do
or-
not
yeah.
know where he ended up, where he's coming from, where he got that wine. Could be anywhere.
Clearly, he's kidnapped in somebody's basement with shitty internet.
So make sure you save
Wait, he's
that
still
clip.
there.
That'll be
Wait.
a good promo.
You doing all right, Andy? Could be anywhere.
Clearly, he's in.
See, I think he's watching the YouTube video while streaming, so there's that weird delay.
Jess gets it. I will leave, Jess, and I will not come back.
No, you have a part to do. You have a part to
No.
play still. You can't go anywhere.
Okay, but if I hear myself again, you know what's going to happen.
All right, so we did bring Lysandra on, and everybody's here for our Dog Chug Way Too Early look at the season. We're going to predict the wins and losses for every game this season and tell you what we believe is going to happen that causes a win or loss. So we're going to start out with that is not correct. Andrew Crewberry was not on the agenda. So we're going to start out. Are you ready, Ross? Because you're like first. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. So Ross is doing week 1. They're playing versus the Bengals. They'll be at home versus the Bengals week 1.
So yeah, this is a big game. It's the first week 1 home opener we've had in several years. You know, all the fans will be riled up. They'll be one of the biggest community lot gatherings you've seen in the last decade. Fans are going to be wasted, and they're only going to roll into the stadium. But unfortunately, they all end up rolling into the stadium a little bit late, maybe because they were trying to squeeze a couple extra beers in. 1 o'clock rolls around, and then they have a 20-minute walk over the stadium. So the fan support isn't there for the first quarter so much. The Browns go down really quick, 14-0. And then second quarter rolls around. Bengals kick another field goal. They're down 17-0 going into the half. But fear not. Kevin Stefanski learned from his previous mistakes of being a robot and not a vocal leader. So he puts together a montage of Nick Carnes' tweets from Twitter, motivating the team reminding everyone that Nick Chubb is good. Myles Garrett is good. Deshaun Watson still got it. That we have plenty of talent on this team. This is the best team since 1999. He even recites one of Nick Carnes' many poems. The team gets fired up. They storm out of the tunnels in the second half. Myles Garrett has a 4-sack half. Deshaun Watson runs for 2 touchdowns, throws for 2. Nick Chubb runs for an additional 100 yards. And after all that's said and done, the Bengals don't score one single point. Browns score, what do I got there? I think I had 4 touchdowns. They're all from Deshaun. So we're at 28-17 win in week 1, thanks to
Nice.
Nick Carnes and Kevin Stefanski.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's
That's
great.
amazing. I'm gonna mute myself.
So then we're moving on to so week 1 was the win. That's awesome. Home opener win, first game of the season. That's awesome. So week 2, we're going to Pittsburgh against the Steelers. Roger, did you have a prediction for this one?
I do. I got what's going to happen in that game. Kenny Pickett's going to throw 5 picks before the half. He's going to be replaced by Money Mitch Trubisky, who's going to throw 3 more. The Cleveland Browns are going to roll to a 51-0 victory to celebrate Bud Carson Day, and end up being now 2-0 because we got the first win of the season against the Bengals. There's not as much detail in this game. It's just an onslaught. It was from kickoff to the final whistle. It was all Browns all day long. You name it, they did it.
That's awesome. 2-0 already. That's great. We're going to move to Sherry here. We're going week 3 versus the Titans at home. Tennessee Titans. What happened, Sherry?
You Titans.
happen?
Okay. The Browns are going to be doing some sightseeing, and unfortunately, they might get a little distracted. There's really good barbecue. We lost,
Well, this is at home.
It's at home, though. It's at home.
Damn it!
There is good barbecue in Cleveland, I'm sure, but
There's good hot chicken in
No
Nashville.
cursing.
Okay. So, apparently, my intel was wrong. The Titans are going to get lost in the hood. The Browns are going to come out victorious. And somebody's losing an appendage on the other team, not related to football. Go Browns.
Wow, 3-0.
as we know, it's pretty good. Moving on to week 4 versus the Ravens at home. I have this one. The Browns are going to win because actually Elijah Moore and OBJ Rochambeau to decide who would win this first matchup. So that's what was decided. So we're 4-0, guys. 4-0. And then that takes us into the bye week, which is actually good because they don't have the potential to lose on my birthday weekend. So I appreciate that. So we're at 4-0 going into the bye week. And then after the bye, we move over to Ross again, who has his prediction for the 49ers game at home for week 6.
Oh, man, I'm just glad I get another home game. So, of course, this is going to be a big talking point. It's going to be Nick Bosa versus Myles Garrett. They're going to be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. That's going to be the talking point going into the game. But the most important thing, it's week 6. The 49ers are all out of quarterbacks. They're all injured. Kyle Shanahan, everyone's like, well, he's got to pick from his bag of quarterbacks on the open market. So just to F with the Browns, he picks up Johnny Manziel in free agency because he wants to prove the point, just like he did in his PowerPoint when he was with the Browns, for why he should leave, that the Browns were the problem and not Johnny Manziel and his offensive play calling for Johnny Manziel. So in a close game, comes down to the fourth quarter, Johnny Manziel goes on the sideline, screaming at Shanahan, recreating the famous Browns play that resulted in a penalty, but it actually succeeds this time. Johnny Manziel runs down the sideline, catches a 60-yard bomb from whoever their running back is, because they probably are on their fifth-string running back at this point, because that's what they do, and they win the game. So the Kyle Shanahan revenge game, unfortunately, the Browns have to take a loss.
It is unfortunate. 4-1 though, we're still looking pretty good going into week 7 in Indianapolis against the Colts. Roger, you have this one, right?
This is the Colts. Hey, yeah, it was Peyton Manning forehead day. The first 5,000 people got a plastic Peyton Manning forehead to wear on their head during the game. Andy, you want to take a stab at the Colts? You think you want to take a stab at this one?
Oh my god! I think they're doing. I mean, Peyton Manning forehead day. The funniest thing ever.
So did that hurt or help the Browns out here?
All right, Peyton
Roger
Manning forehead
win.
day, Browns can't bring their A game. We lose.
All right. It's hard to go against all those
Damn
foreheads.
I had Watson throwing 8 touchdowns and 548 yards on the fast track in Indy, and it was a blowout. That's what I had on Peyton Manning forehead day.
That's awesome.
I'm not behind the scenes tonight.
I don't know if we can follow that with week 8. Sherry, we are in Seattle facing the Seahawks. What happens for that game?
Okay. Seattle's a really cool place. A lot of cool things happen there. There's a wall that has disgusting gum stuck to it. There's a genre of music. I don't know if you cool kids understand what grunge music is, but it originated in Seattle. Also, the weather is known to be gloomy and doomy. So, while sightseeing, the Browns, distracted by the gloom and doom of the weather and the incredible grunge music, and the gum wall, they're going to lose because our best player got stuck to the gum wall. Sorry, Browns fans.
Did not see that coming.
Deshaun Watson got too close to the gum wall. It was too humid, and he stuck to it.
Wow. Well, that has us at 5-2 for the season still, even with Deshaun Watson stuck to the wall. Moving into week 9 against the Cardinals. We're playing them at home. I've got this one, the Browns win, because there ends up being a really big snowstorm in November, and the Cardinals can't handle being in the weather since they've got a fancy dome. So we won that one because we were able to. I know we've seen terrible winter games before, but this time the dome team couldn't handle it, so we won. So moving on to week 10, this is Ross. We are in Baltimore with the Ravens. What happens this time?
Yeah,
Ross?
so kind of following the trend of Sherry's observations, this team gets very distracted on the road. They like sightseeing, figuring things out. So, they've been to Baltimore before, but, this is only Deshaun's second time really visiting since he's been on the Browns. So he decides to go to an all-you-can-eat blue crab buffet. He's got to open up these crabs, but he forgets to use the hammer and all the tools. So he actually gets a cut on his right index finger that requires stitches.
Wow.
And this is the night before the game. They have to decide if they're playing him or not. They decide, you know what? He's our starting quarterback. He's playing. Who cares? Turns into more of a running duel because he does his best Lamar Jackson impression and transforms into a running back. But he has 4 running touchdowns and outruns Lamar Jackson 150 yards versus Lamar Jackson's 89 yards. And we take the W.
Nice. Good. Sherry,
Yes.
the Steelers. We got the Steelers back at home, week 11. What happens that game?
Wait, they're coming here?
Yeah, Steelers coming here.
Okay. The Steelers are
Well,
coming
not
here.
here, there.
There, not to you.
Cleveland. Yeah,
Okay.
not to Tulsa, to Cleveland.
Gotcha. Okay. Kevin Stefanski is going to psych out Mike Tomlin by wearing a bigger piece of the true cross. Therefore, Tomlin's going to be off of his A game coaching his team. Meanwhile, in Pittsburgh, they're holding the largest family reunion. None of the fans come to Cleveland because cousins. It's all Browns fans. No Steelers fans at the stadium. Let me reiterate, cousins.
Hey, my
Did we-
cousins are in
did
Pittsburgh.
we win
What
then?
the hell?
Did the
Oh, we
Browns win?
won. They didn't have anybody to cheer for them. Andy woke up.
Now we're moving on to week 12. We're going to Denver with Lysandra with the Broncos.
Yes. This is a special game because it's a day after my birthday, as well as the great Bernie Kosar's birthday, and it's in Denver where I'm living. So the perfect storm is there. So we're going to go into Denver and we're going to win because they're going to have a birthday shindig in the locker room before the game in honor of me and Bernie. And we're going to cheer them on from the sidelines as they kick the Broncos' ass. I totally
Nice.
made that up on the fly.
That's fine. I'm sure your husband would have something different to say, but
Oh, God.
Also,
That's all right.
Peyton Manning
I'm-
forehead day there too.
Yes. Oh, my God. Now, if he was here, he would have a lot to say, but he's playing softball right now, so.
they didn't. It wasn't John Elway Teeth Day. Didn't have that going on.
Yes, everybody gets to set a John Elway teeth.
Why are you doing this to me?
Be awesome. All right, now we're moving. Now, just to recap, we're at 9-2 for the season.
Wow.
Looking pretty good. Looking pretty
Yeah.
good. Now we're going to Los Angeles to the Rams with Roger. What happened that
Sure.
week, Roger?
Trap game. West Coast trip. Trap game. It's OBJ Dad's bobblehead day. It's a bobblehead of OBJ's dad because that's how he ended up there because of his dad. And this loss is on Kevin Stefanski. He tried to beat the jet lag and the fatigue. And so they flew out of Cleveland at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and they arrived an hour before the game in uniform. They got to the stadium, and they just got smeared all over the place. This was on Stefanski with his bright ideas. We go down 42-10 in this one. It's ugly.
That's pretty rough. Sherry, we're back to you. Jacksonville versus the Jaguars. We're at home, though, in Cleveland versus the Jaguars.
Okay, so we all know the sun doesn't shine as bright in Cleveland. They tried to throw their secret weapon up at us. Trevor Lawrence. He's so beautiful, but he's highly reflective. There's no sun. It doesn't work. Browns win.
That's good. Can't argue with that one. That's a good one. Moving on to week 15 versus the Bears at home. Mike Ditka actually came out of retirement to coach that game, and the Browns are stomped. We lost. We lost because of Mike Ditka. So
Nothing you do about the Bears.
I know the
Bears.
Bears. Yeah. Are you supposed to drink after that? Have a heart attack. Yeah, so we're at 10-4 now, going into week 16, going down to Houston to see the Texans. This is Ross.
All right. Hey, Roger, I might need Andy. Andy, is your audio? Let's see how his audio's doing.
What's
Is
up?
your audio doing better, Andy? Hey, I got this just to make sure. I know Andy and Roger talk with HR at Network 216 a lot. Am I allowed to make jokes about the NDAs that Deshaun Watson used to sign when he was in Houston?
Yes.
'Cause
Absolutely.
that determines where I go with this
Absolutely.
prediction.
Permission
Very
granted.
Okay, good.
Judges, 10.
Well, so here's what happened. So obviously, it's a huge, not good media day or weekend for the Browns. You know, after dodging questions last year all about the accusations, everything, they're back in Texas, where he obviously got into all this trouble. So unfortunately, it comes out again the night before, kind of like in the Ravens. Another thing that happens to Deshaun the night before, that he forgot to sign the NDA for his frequent client that he used to go to down in Houston. It gets leaked. She's allowed to talk because he forgot to sign the dotted line. And unfortunately, Deshaun Watson immediately gets suspended for at least this game until they investigate further. But the length of suspension is TBD. So missing him, Josh Dobbs doesn't quite have it. We end up losing.
Wah, wah.
Man. We're moving on to week 17 after that bummer. Hopefully Deshaun Watson's back versus the Jets at home. Lysandra, what's going on that week?
Oh, Jets are coming home. Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing, and I'm thinking he's going to be shaking in his boots, having to deal with Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith. So he's going to get a hold of some tainted shrooms and do some ritualistic shit in his, how did I just say it, in his hotel room. And he's going to emerge the next day. I know.
So close.
Yes, he's going to be on a bad trip,
How do
and
you say that one drug he,
Browns are
he
going to
claimed
sack
to
him.
use? What was it called?
What was that?
Ayahuasca.
Yeah, whatever it was.
So no, Aaron Rodgers has a bad batch of shrooms before the game and ends up throwing the game off really bad, and the Browns come out with a win on that one.
Nice. That's awesome. So we're gonna close out the season week 18. We're just doing regular season, obviously. Week 18, we're going to Cincinnati, and Roger's gonna tell us about this one.
Well, here's the problem. We get down to Cincinnati, and Paul Brown Stadium was foreclosed on. They don't even have a place. All their equipment was repoed. Joe Burrow was repoed by the pawn shop. They took him back. We ended up having to play at the University of Cincinnati. They had to play in borrowed equipment. We didn't even play our starters. Everybody sat the bench. Josh Dobbs ran for 500 yards on the ground.
Wow.
Jerome Ford had a field day, and he had 5 touchdowns in his old stomping grounds.
Yeah,
The
I
Browns
once ran
run
for
away with it, 89 to
200
nothing.
yards in the same stadium.
Wow. 89 to nothing.
They play in the same
Flag football,
stadium.
baby.
I didn't know. So that's 89 to nothing. We run away with that one, and the Bengals are out of business. They're shut down.
Well, just so you guys know, that puts it at 12-5 for the season. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's probably higher than some other people were thinking. Maybe we can get
Nice.
this on the Discord, that betting Discord thing they've got going on, and
I'm
See if we
joking
can
on
put
that
a-
right
put
now.
a word in
9.5
for
or
it, and-
something?
I just put 10 grand on the over.
Oh
Of course
no.
you did.
Join us in our bookies on Discord.
That's awesome. All right. Well, awesome. Thanks, guys, for going through the season with me. I appreciate that. I'd like to know kind of what to expect this year. Makes it a little easier to go into the season, know we're going to end up 12-5. But now we're going to move on to everyone's favorite game, Spit, Sip, Chug.
Nice.
Favorite or tolerated?
Andy, you know how
Andy, you gonna be around for this one?
You going to be around for this
Oh.
one, Andy?
I sure hope so. But are you getting a lot of like
Feedback?
crickets and shit?
The what?
Can you hear
You're
all
good.
the crickets around me and everything? Okay, good. So
No, it's fine.
the microphone must be muting all that. It's
I
very
hear a
loud.
little bit, but not terrible.
We can hear it. It's
I'll
not
mute myself
distracting.
if I'm not talking.
Not at all.
At least we don't hear Sherry twice, so that part's good. So our first statement, because we do statements here on Sip, Spit, Chug. This season is for sure the season that Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year. We'll start with Ross on this. These are my top ones. We'll start with you.
I'm going to chug on this one.
and then they didn't come to me first.
I mean, I think I kind of talked about this in past dog chugs, but you have to remember last year Myles Garrett was still wreaking havoc, and we literally had like the bottom 3 ranked defensive tackles in the league. Not like middle of the pack, slightly below average, like the worst for like eligible players to be graded. However, PFF does it, like minimum snaps required. Like they were so bad. Like if we got like even just like a lame free agent, they were probably better than any of our defensive tackles. And we loaded that line up with Tomlinson, probably his best defensive lineman in general, not just defensive tackle or defensive end, just ever that he's had to be paired with. So it's pretty exciting that he actually is going to be given the tools. And then if our secondary ends up being, I guess, kind of what we thought it would be last year with a little more experience, I mean, the secondary is only going to help him out, giving him a little more time to rush the quarterback. So this is the year to do it. And I'm not buying into the Jim Schwartz hype like others. I'm more buying into the hype of the players we got.
Good. Let's move over to Andy. What do you think, Andy?
Well, I agree with everything Ross just said. I think like he's going to be on par to have this dominating season, but then like, you know, he's gonna go bowling. He's gonna have like a crazy accident, maybe putt. He's gonna get bit by a spider while he's like with a woman. Something's gonna happen in the middle of the season. He's gonna be out like 5 games.
Spider.
That's gonna be it for defense player of the year. So I'm gonna spit on this one.
I think he's gonna steal one of Joey Burrow's fur jackets.
Well, I'm next on my picture on my screen, so I'm going to go next. I'm going to chug on it. So I think this is it. I think that finally he's got someone on the other end of the line that might show up for all the games and might be invested. So hopefully we'll keep him from being double teamed, and he'll actually finally get that defensive player of the year that we've been waiting for. So I'm going with Roger. I didn't give Roger any no sipping, but we'll see what happens.
No sipping?
I didn't tell you couldn't sip, so I guess sipping's on the board.
Yeah, I'm definitely sipping on this. That's entirely up to Myles Garrett. I think he's probably the most gifted and most talented defensive edge rusher in the NFL. But I also think Myles Garrett plays when he feels like playing. I saw a Twitter post that there was trade, shooting ahead, and play. I don't know. I don't know what the three choices were, but it was Bosa, Watt, and Myles Garrett. And the guy that out of the three of them, I would take the other two over Myles Garrett because I watched those two guys and they finish plays. They finish every play. They're chasing balls down the field. Sometimes I watch Myles Garrett and he takes a break. Sometimes I'm just not enamored with Myles Garrett. And I think that he has more talent than both of those guys. And I think it's completely up to Myles Garrett if he wants to win the MVP of defense.
Okay, fair enough. Sherry, what do you
Thank
think?
goodness I am a scientist, and let me clear some things out for you people.
Whoa.
You people! Our dear Myles Garrett, who I love very, very much, is an asthmatic who got COVID quite severely, who probably sustained some serious lung damage. That is all the evidence I need to know why he wouldn't bounce back and be amazing. He's healed. He's going to crush it this season. We're not going to talk about any car accidents. He's going to be smarter. He's going to pay attention to the wildlife in the road, whatever. He's bringing his A game. Watch out. He's winning it all.
So you're chugging then, right?
I am chugging.
Would that be a chug?
Of course that's a chug. How dare you question
Imaginary
my reaction?
chug.
We
It
don't see
might be
anything.
slow.
We don't see a consumption. There you go.
Oh, look at that.
Next.
All right, Lysandra, what do you think?
I'm gonna have to chug on this.
Fanboys.
Stop it, Roger. I agree with everything that Ross said, and I think that offensive lines are gonna. I mean, our line is going to wreak havoc on offensive lines, and they're going to have to choose whether they're going to want to cover Zadarius Smith or they're going to want to cover and double team Myles Garrett. And I think it's just going to be a losing battle. We have a better secondary. We have Zadarius Smith, and it's going to be a losing battle and a constant rotation of of schemes, and I don't think that other defenses are going to be able to keep up with it, and I think that Myles Garrett's going to thrive.
All right, good deal. Let's move on
That's
to.
what I meant to say. I think I mentioned Tomlinson. That's the defensive tackle he signed, but I meant Zadarius Smith's the best player he's ever played with on a D line.
So let's move on to the second statement. Last year, the Guardians had 4 Gold Glove winners with Shane Bieber, Andres Jimenez, Stephen Kwan, and Miles Straw. This year, we're going to have 4 winners again. 4 Gold Glove winners again. Let's start with Andy.
Yeah, there's good. I'm going to spit on that. I don't think we're going to have 4.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, that was short and sweet. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have 4 either. I'm also gonna spit.
Well, the
So
baseball guys, but watch out.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all great, but I don't know that I see it trending that way this season. So, go for it, Roger.
Man, I don't want to sip on it. I'm gonna chug on it. I'm going to chug on it because when I read this yesterday or like Sunday when you did it, because you were on top of everything like Sunday, I started looking at defensive numbers and second basemen and center fielders. The only one that Stephen Kwan isn't having the kind of defensive year that he had last year. Miles Straw is right where he should be and probably is the front runner for a Gold Glove in center field in the American League. He's right up there with. It's hard to judge pitchers. I'm going to chug on it and say that we can repeat with the four of them because they've had solid defensive years this year, with Kwan just falling off pace just a little bit. So I'm chugging.
Fair enough,
And
Sherry,
I'll
what do
tell you what, if
oh,
we want
oh,
to win
oh.
the Central Division, they better have four Gold Glovers out there. That's what it's going to take.
Sherry,
Is it
Sherry, what do you
safe?
think?
Is he done?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
I'm done.
You're done. Okay. I love the Naylor boys so much, but there are only two of them, so I'm gonna spit. Excuse me. Let me get a little firepower. You guys ready? Ready?
I don't know.
I'm gonna spit
Ready.
on it.
Yes. Oh,
What if we trade for the
Third
Oakland
Naylor,
Naylor?
the
Yeah,
Triforce. You played Zelda, right?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yes.
I am.
Then we'd have at least 3 Golden Gloves. Still not 4. We'd have a
Oh, yeah,
Triforce.
Josh Naylor's just. Everyone's like, I'm going to vote for him for Golden Glove. Yeah, sure.
Well, we made the All-Star team, so we. Oh.
Mm.
So she spit. What do you think, Lysandra?
I don't keep up with baseball as much as I do football and basketball. So I'm gonna take the middle road between Andy and Roger, and I'm gonna sip because in Cleveland sports anything can happen.
there you go.
I think
Well,
Roger
there you go.
Sip.
That was a Roger answer if I've ever heard one, too.
Sure was.
The middle between Chug and Sip is like, I don't know.
She's learning.
Yeah.
Learning from the best.
Go ahead,
Fast
Ross.
beer.
What do you
I'm
think,
going to
Ross?
spit on this one. Golden Glove's definitely an award where I think, especially with pitcher, like you're not winning the Golden Glove unless you're having a great pitching year. That's usually like an excuse like, hey, this guy was good at fielding, but he's not good enough to win the Cy Young. Unfortunately, Bieber's not in that category, so he's off there. None of our pitchers are going to get it, so that automatically eliminates you. But like Roger said, Miles Straw is like our shoe-in, but it's going to be tough for Andre Jimenez and Stephen Kwan to do it again. Because Stephen Kwan, as crazy as it sounds, his batting average would have to go up for him to win it again.
Yeah.
That's just how writers view it. You pretty much qualify for the Golden Glove by being a decent hitter, which makes no sense. But that's what happens half the time, especially for left fielders.
Good call, Ross.
All right, moving on to statement number 3. Watson and the first unit will play into the second quarter in the Hall of Fame game on August 3rd. I'm going to let Roger start this one since it was his statement.
Yeah, I wrote it. I have no freaking idea. See, I didn't swear.
That's why.
How about
That's why I let you start.
Right. I don't even know if they'll play the first series. So I'm going to chug on it because I think they should.
Huh?
Because playtime's over. It's time to start winning. It's time to start showing us something. And you know what? I think the first unit should play the whole darn game in the Hall of Fame game to be ready to start the season. Because I'm done with excuses. I'm done with maybe next year's with them. So,
Roger, you've never sounded more like Hugh Jackson driving the bus than you just did right now.
Undefeated preseason. Let's get it.
All right, Sherry. I think Roger's done. It's your turn.
Okay, it's safe.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay.
Hope so.
I have a couple questions. Will there be performance-enhancing undergarments made out of bubble wrap for the first string?
Maybe those concussion helmets that are like quadruple the size.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes. All right. So on that, I'm gonna go. My statement is, I agree because I'm an angry old man like Roger. So they need to, step up, play the dudes, and make sure they don't get hurt. That's their own business. Don't get hurt, you piece of shit. Ooh,
Oh,
sorry.
Sherry!
Oh.
Sherry! You made it
It's,
50 minutes,
you know what?
Sherry.
it's always in spit, sip, chug where we swear.
I'm muting her. I just muted her, so she's
It's the
talking.
15 minutes of the show.
Oh my gosh. 50 minutes. You made it 50
She's saying
minutes.
something. I don't know what she's saying. I muted her. I can't trust her.
Audience, we apologize for this.
Right?
But I think they'll let Sherry go.
That's a first,
Yeah,
right?
live
I don't think
tweeting
I don't think I ever cursed on the dog jug before. It's like my bat mitzvah. Anyway, so I'm gonna. What am I gonna sip and rage?
I thought you were chugging.
Okay,
because
chug.
They were gonna poop or get off the
Yes.
pot, right? Is that what you would say in rated G dog chug?
Thank you, Jess. I don't have children. I can curse all day, every day.
Fair enough.
Like
Sandra, what do you think about this?
Okay, so you said, do they play into the second quarter?
Yes.
But
On the
not
whole
all the
thing.
way through the second quarter?
Yep, just
You
into
just said
it.
play into it, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and chug. We've made so many changes on offense. We finally have a season to start off with our guy at quarterback. And I think that the Browns have something to prove and will at least play through to the halftime. To halftime, yes.
Okay,
Oh
Ross?
man, I can't believe this. I'm gonna absolutely spit on this. I mean, we have one extra preseason game because we have to play in this meaningless game. The other 3 preseason games are meaningless as well, but this one's even more meaningless. I am not going to put our starting quarterback out there more than one drive. That's asinine. It's absolutely ridiculous. You should not do this at all. Don't put like any starters after the first drive. Heck, even the first drive, don't play half of them because this is a bonus game. You have 3 more preseason games. That's where you can prove it with, I guess, all the logic you guys said. Those are the games, not this Hall of Fame game.
Nobody
That's it.
said
We just
this
wanna
was going to
see-
be
He
logical.
had 11 weeks off last year. Get to work.
Yeah, and you got a 17 game season. You got plenty of time to figure it out.
Yeah, 17, 17.
Yeah, let's go 4-0 in the preseason. Let's do it. Screw it, right?
I
always
didn't
gone
even
well
think.
for us.
Hey, when I wrote that, I was like, "Are they even going to play any of the starters in this game?"
All right, Andy.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, first of all, not only will Deshaun Watson not be playing in the first preseason game at all, nobody's going to be playing that game. It's
That's
going
right.
to be the third string starting the game because it's the most meaningless game of all time. And hate to break it to you, Deshaun Watson's not going to play the first preseason game after that. I guess that'd be the second or the next one. He'll play like 2 quarters of the final preseason game, and that's it. So I'm spinning.
Maybe Joe Thomas will go in.
I
There's more chance that Joe Thomas will start that game than Deshaun Watson.
I
was
don't know.
under pressure. You don't know. Jessica was yelling at me all week to get my stuff done. I had to
I'm like, give me a statement.
get me a statement. It's like, I don't know. I'm asking Ross to bail me out. He ran. He's like, I'm out of this.
Like the
That
Roadrunner
was
getting off the side of the Twitter feed. I guess I think I would spit on this because I think if anything, they'll play like the first drive and that's probably it. I don't think they're gonna do more than that, and I really don't want them to do any of it because I would like them to all stay healthy so we at least have a chance during the regular season.
you know who'd want to play that first. You know who'd want to play number 6. He'd want to play that first one. He'd be all out there, ready to play.
There'd be tendons snapping everywhere, left and right.
Oh my god.
There's more chance Deshaun Watson's going to play a series in that
Yeah.
Hall of Fame game than Matt's going to beat me in a chug-off.
Doctor. He didn't go to
I don't.
Sorry, I'm
evil.
not going to respect him when I'm talking
Oh.
SHIT.
I won't tune into football until we all meet up and for for training camp. That's when I'll start paying attention to football.
So,
Well, that's it. That's the end of our
that's all we
statements, right?
had. So we had for
Yeah.
statements unless Ross has another one that he forgot to put on the list. Ross, do you have another one or no?
Oh, I did not put one on the list.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, Roger mentioned you might have one, so I just wanted to give you your opportunity to have a statement if you had one.
We'll do a quick one, kind of like close out the show, but also kind of be a spit sip chug, one of those plot twists that Andy throws out there. So
Sounds
for
good.
this, each person's gonna say. So the Browns over under on most betting sites is 9.5. So if you're over that or under that, say what you think they're gonna win this year. And if people agree with you or somewhat agree with you, do a sip or a chug while they're saying their prediction.
Okay.
This is a real prediction, not the made-up scenario with Johnny Manziel playing for the 49ers. So I guess I would kick it off. So, for instance, I'm going to say my prediction. I think this roster is loaded. As much as I'm kind of like the downer and like not very excited about Deshaun because of all the reasons he's here, I can't deny that the rest of the team's talented and that he's going to have games that he lights it up. Our division is going to be pretty solid this year, but I think we really do get to 11 wins and get that one of those wild card spots. So if you agree with me, just take a chug, sip, whatever. If you disagree, spit or do whatever Roger's doing.
Wandering away.
I think I'm going to agree with you, Ross. I'm chugging on it just because I'm thirsty a little bit.
I'm gonna go next, and wow, I mean, look, the whole season just depends on how good Deshaun Watson is. Can he rebound? Is he gonna still look like he did last year? All I know, I mean, I saw it when you watch those clips from minicamps. I know it's like not the best judge of how good his football team is going to be, but my God, the amount of talent on this offense is just staggering. The amount of talent from the defensive backs is amazing. The defensive line, maybe the middle's a little weak, but from the edges, it's going to be amazing. I don't know. I think this team is, my goodness. If he hits the pedal, if Deshaun hits the pedal, this team is so much better than anyone's giving him credit to. So I'm going to go over 9.5, I guess. And I'm going to say 12 wins.
I'm going to do a little sip.
So for me, like I believe we're going to win over the 9.5, but because you can't really actually win 9.5, is that possible? So Roger can't even sip on this one. So I think we're going to get over the 9.5. Last year, man, we had. I hate saying anything about injuries, but last year we had so many random injuries that came up, and I'm hoping that's not what kills us this year. So I mean, I'll just safely go with the 10. I want to say more, but I'm going to say the 10. That's what I'm saying.
Andy spit on it. I'm going to
It's
show
all right.
something.
Fair enough.
I'll do a little sip.
I'm in full-blown Randy Quaid in Major League 2 mode. This is my season hat. It's inside out, the rally killer hat. They have to prove it to me. I'm the grumpy, get off my lawn, Deshaun Watson, and throw touchdowns and win football games. But I do agree with Ross. I do agree with you guys. It's a talented roster. I think Jim Schwartz is the difference maker. I think on a couple different levels. I think, number one, our defense is going to be vastly improved because he knows what he's doing. Number two, I think he's going to alleviate a lot of pressure off Kevin Stefanski and give him all the room he needs to run that offense and to manage the offensive side of the football. And nobody's been mentioning this, but Bubba Van Trone is the man on special teams. And I think right now, because of the coaching staff and what they put together with all the talent on the roster, I think they can win 12 games this year. And if they do, I'll turn my hat right side in when they win the Central Division. I'm chugging on it.
That, Roger.
How about you, Sherry?
I have to burp. Wait. Okay.
Burp is not one of the options.
Okay, thank you.
Sit,
Okay,
spit, or chug.
thank you. You know, I'm not a negative person, but I'm not that big of an idiot. So I'm gonna go with the Browns winning 10 games. Deshaun can run and he can throw the ball. We're not used to that. This is exciting. And I do believe we have a few gentlemen on the team who could actually catch the ball, which is exciting. Again, I'm excited about Schwartz. Very excited. I'm excited to see what he does with all those weapons he has because I can't remember everybody's name, especially Myles Garrett. And I'm feeling cautiously optimistic, so I'm going to chug. 10 to 10.
All right. Chug it with you. Got a little bit left.
There it is.
Andy's spitting again.
All right. I am going to go with the Browns going with a 12-win season. I think they have an explosive offense, an amazing defense. We are built to win right now, and I think this is the reason why they hired Stefanski and they brought in Deshaun Watson, because Stefanski has the brain and the mind to design an offensive scheme that Watson is going to thrive in. And I think that Schwartz is going to have a defensive scheme that's going to allow all of our defensive weapons to shine in one way or another. And Myles Garrett is going to have an amazing season. Deshaun Watson, I don't think the league, I keep saying it every time, but Browns fans don't know what we have, some of them. And the league ain't ready for us. I think we're the sleeper that people got to watch out for. So 12.
Whoa.
She gets it.
Oh, I'm
A
chugging.
lot of dubs.
Awesome. Good way to end out the show. I want to thank my friends here at the Dog Show for allowing me to come on and host in Andy's place, even though Andy is still here. I really appreciate you letting me come on. I had a good time. I appreciate everyone coming in and following my agenda that I had with my little game that we could do. So
Hold on. I just
yes.
want to say you did an amazing job. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
Amazing job.
It was
Thank you.
fun to jump on. Do I have like 1 second, real
Of
quick?
course, it's your
Sorry.
show, dude.
No, it's not. It's your show tonight.
I thought we fired him.
We're trying to figure out what we shoot for tomorrow's video, and I want to ask. Heather wants to throw me a beer as I'm jumping in the pool, and like I try and chug it as I'm landing in the pool, which I don't know that I can even do that.
How high up? You got to be on a high dive for that.
It'd be really cool, but I don't know if you could do that.
You can do the triple Lindy.
What's your health insurance situation?
Maybe a
Well,
shot.
yeah,
Maybe you could do
hopefully-
a shot. I don't know if you could get a
What
beer.
are you're in international waters? What are the laws on that?
Actually, that's a really good point, Jess. Maybe a shot's the way to go with that. I think I could do a shot, but my idea was to get the bartenders to make us 6 fruity drinks in like mixed drinks and just stack them up, and I'll just like hit all 6 of them in 1 minute.
I think you do that, then get on the diving board.
Yeah.
There's no diving board. It's not
No.
that kind of pool.
Oh,
All right. So I guess what I'm hearing is do both.
do both. Yes,
Do
absolutely.
both, yeah.
Somehow, some
So do
way.
your 6 fruity drinks and then have her
Please.
throw you a shot
Please do.
and do it off the diving board.
Please do
All
both.
Sorry, Jess. Please continue. You're the best.
Thanks. Thank you. But I do appreciate everyone coming on, and especially all you 3 people that are watching right now. I appreciate you the most of all. So chug 'em if you got 'em, because we're signing off.
It's empty. All right.
Let's go.